Welcome to Get Into Market, where your job is real, but your role is negotiable.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nice.
I nailed it. I didn't even have it up on my screen.
I don't believe you.
I've written it on my arm a million times so I can remember it.
Wait, do you put Post-it notes on your monitor for like little reminders of stuff?
I used to. I've stopped doing that. It got a little too... My desk is like chaos right now.
You had 40 things on your monitor where it didn't help?
When I stopped doing that, yeah, it was basically just like... You know what I used to do is if there were like real hard... we had like I had a skip level manager who would like quiz people sometimes, like randomly on calls, be like, hey, what is our blah, blah, blah goal for next quarter? So I would put those numbers on a Post-it, put it on my monitor so I knew
funny.
it.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of helpful. But I don't really have a manager like that, so I don't have to do it anymore. But yeah, that's when I would use it again.
Have you seen the body language stuff where if someone looks up and to the right, they're recalling something, and up and to the left, it's like
making
creative.
it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing that, but it's just where you've got it written and it's stuck on the monitor. 35 is in the upper right.
Yeah.
That's a good hack. I like that. I have 3 things on my monitor. I think they've been there for years.
Wash hands.
It's conflicting advice.
Flush.
It says say more with fewer words, which I believe in. Ask more questions, and then just ask the question. And those are very distinct messages to myself about different things.
Also just such like dumb platitudes that I can't believe you couldn't just remember to do those things. It's like be kind. If you're just on your monitor, it says be kind. And then the next one, it says rewind.
Very few people are going to get that joke, but we're really glad they're here.
Can I level with you? I truly don't understand the like operational mechanics of a 4-kid household.
It has made me appreciate single parents. We're like, good Lord, I have no idea how that life works, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, meals.
Huge unlock for us for the family this year is in Louise. Shout out Louise. She is the music teacher that now comes to our house. So we've tried to do kind of our thing. Maybe we've talked about this, where every kid has an instrument and every kid plays a sport. That's our requirement, family requirement. And then, like, the joke is I didn't realize 4 times 2 is 8, and that's more days than there are in a week. And so we're just running around all the time. But Louise comes to our house and is incredibly affordable. I think it's like $3 more per lesson.
That's it?
Totally. And she comes to
Louise,
the house.
if you are listening, you need to charge more. You are not covering your car costs.
1,000%.
Let's have a conversation. Tip her at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
with whatever. With dollars, John. Money.
Not with cookies.
With money.
Cookies and cuteness.
You can just shove those in your gas tank and drive to your next lesson. Today's episode, I think, is it's a nice one for me because I didn't really have to do any pre-work.
Ooh.
John, your product management tech stack, what are folks using these days? What's useful and why? I'm curious, like, what's kind of shifted over time? Like, what's become kind of, has there been any shifting in the Coca-Cola, Pepsi one, too?
There's probably been a lot of shifting that I'm not paying that close of attention to, which is probably to say it's kind of like Nikon versus Canon in a way, where you just get into what you know and then you stick with it for forever. So there might be some of that. Someone's in the comments going to be like, well, actually this and that and this tool and that. But I'll walk through.
Are you a photography guy? Like
I wanted to be cool when I was a kid. And
like, are those the two that, or is it like Sony and Leica or something?
Nikon and Canon are the 2 DSLR elephants in the room. I kind of figured you know this stuff. Anyway, that's fine. There's a lot you don't know, and I'm here to share with you about that. Okay, I'll just like walk through some of my tech stack, what stuff I'm doing. We can get past like, Windows versus Mac. I don't care. I've only used O365 from just like a generally like that's I've been an outlook.
Never used the Google Suite.
No, I never have. Have you?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I actually liked it. Yeah, It's pretty good. I'll give you a crystal clear example of where Google, I think, has a step ahead, which is live slides. So you can create like a deck. If you want to pull from that, if you want to pull a couple slides from that deck, pull it into your deck that has its own specific purpose, you can auto update those slides from the master without having to maintain them separately,
Oh,
which you can't do with Office 365. So you just hit like the little sync refresh
sure.
button. It refreshes to the main deck that you're pulling from. You don't have to remarry them manually, which you have to do in Office 365, at least the last time I've used it, which was today. So that's handy.
The first in my tech stack is OmniFocus. Are you an OmniFocus user or a GTD person?
No, I'm not an OmniFocus user.
That's fine.
What is that? Just a
Uh,
task
it's a task
list?
management tool built around the principles of getting things done. It's very purpose built for just GTD, but it's a task management tool. The stuff that I really like about it is you can quick entry items into whatever list of stuff you're wanting to do. So the purpose built stuff is really around the habit of weekly reviewing everything that goes into your list, kind of planning that out in the week. So I use OmniFocus for that. It's great. I love it. I've used it for a while. If it ever goes away,
That's a personal tool, right? So
correct.
that's something that's not a corporate managed app. Yeah.
Correct. Yep. Yep. So I buy. That's interesting. I didn't even think about corporate managed versus not. I bet there's a greater portion of apps that I'm using that are personal and not corporate managed.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I'm curious how you manage the infosec of that aspect. Do you keep, maybe at past jobs, we'll just talk about that. Do you keep things tidy where you're not linking to stuff that's in your personally owned apps?
I do. I do keep things pretty tidy. Like honestly. Well, what's
Yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
so OmniFocus is just ideas. It's just think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this, add this thing, do this other thing, and so then it reminds me to do the work. And then
Sure.
from there, I've been in the Atlassian tool sets for 15, 18, I don't even know, for forever. And so just out of habit, I use Jira for all my ticketing. And so kind of in my daily flow or my regular flow is I'll go through what's in OmniFocus and then either create that stuff inside of Jira, create it, like the epics that we need to do, kind of build stuff out. So in that way, my InfoSec world seems pretty, that's one of the ways I'm diligent. Because I'm not actually putting work or like, I'm just kind of putting ideas and then I go, yeah, do this thing. And then I put it in Jira. And so all the stories, all the backlog, all the core management of that is happening in Jira. All the teams are there. There's 500 tools that do this: Monday, Asana, Linear, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I mean, like, I've tried playing with them a little bit. I've tried using like Notion because I've heard Notion can be like a way to, the operational, what I heard, Notion's the OS for your business. And I was like, I don't know.
One of the questions I have for you is in your sort of tech stack, because some of it you've been married to for longer than other parts of it, like do you
Yeah.
have kind of enough core skills that they translate quickly and easily to another tool if you went to a new org or your current org adopted a new tool? Like, do you think you'd be able to just kind of settle right in, or do you think there's still a pretty big learning curve?
That's a great question. Jira, like ticketing systems, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. CRM, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I am a Domo fan. It's a phenomenal product. One of the things that's so good about it is that once the data is there, then you can really easily do any of your ETL, kind of build this stuff for yourself. But funnily enough, I've used any BI solution less and less because of Claude, which is our Gen AI choice here. And so maybe that need is going away. I'm trying to think of other ticketing tools. You could squint and say that OmniFocus and Smartsheet are similar enough. Like, you're just kind of getting tasks, and maybe Smartsheet's got some stuff. I've yet to use Smartsheet. Period. I mean, I still have not logged in to it more than 10 times.
John, we've
And
worked on projects together.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I would say back to you,
Yeah.
have we not delivered on time despite my inability, my choosing not to use Smartsheet? So my
I
habit
mean,
is 100% in the way. And
uh,
there is a little bit of that.
well, okay. So if I think of Smartsheet, I think project management. How does project management figure into your stack, stack?
This is probably like a tool habit thing. I'm a bit of a stickler about backlog architecture. Actually, I wrote an internal article once about backlog architecture, and people were like, okay, you lunatic. But just how each epic is a proper noun inside of the Jira space, each kind of body of work delivers something important and is complete. Like everything that you need to do is inside of that. and that those get prioritized top down. And so with engineering teams, just like deliver that, then you move on, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe that's how I'm doing project management, is being very, very particular about Epic and backlog architecture and what we use and how that works. Epics aren't themes is my other line.
What do you mean by epics aren't themes? Let's dig into that.
A theme is made of many epics. An epic is not a theme. So you may have a focus area of, we want to make it really easy for customers to get into the product quickly. And there might be multiple things that you would do that independently might be a step in that. So part of that might just be getting their username and password, getting their information there, assigning, creating the account, making it be them in that account. And when they log in and get to that account, it gets filtered to them with only things that they need. All of that might be just one step. All of that's valuable. And you can take that and show it to somebody and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. And start iterating on that. And so, but all of that would be under the theme of make it really easy to get started with the product.
Yeah. Do you think Jira is better at managing that and getting people to think in that way? Is that part of why you like it?
Are any of them good at it? I mean, I don't think Jira is particularly great at it. And there's roles that are needed. Like the whole Scrum Master role exists as kind of a project manager. Every Scrum Master is going to flame us for this. It's a bit of a project manager internally.
Yeah.
And for building products.
Here's one of the things I was thinking about with the project management piece and how you use Jira is Jira is great for like you and engineering and other folks in product. Right. Product marketing can leverage stuff that's in Jira too. But if you get outside of that kind of core group, I don't really know that I want those people in Jira, right? So then where else are we capturing those things as it relates to like getting to market, and launch processes and all that sort of thing? Like that to me seems like you're getting outside of where its real value is.
So I've used Confluence. This isn't a great answer to that. It's a part of how I've done it. Confluence is okay. And so are you familiar with Confluence? Have you used this for much? So have you used the internet? So Confluence just for writing static pages to communicate out what's going on, what's happening, what this thing is, that sort of thing. I'm sure you could use Confluence to be some of that. It's not going to be perfect, but then you're...
To me, what's in Confluence isn't necessarily digested to the point where a salesperson gets something bite-sized enough that's helpful to them in a way that they'll like go to it consistently. Like that's not a dig at salespeople. Like you don't want to read like a page-long thing on the feature that's getting launched, right? So where do we put that? And that to me then becomes like a challenge that, product marketing and sales enablement have to solve for. But that's one of the things I think is a little tricky about Confluence is like maybe Confluence is a better place for marketing to go for stuff as you're building things, but not so great for other parts of the org.
Have you seen the 3-minute read, 1-minute read on the top of Confluence pages?
Oh, yeah, I have. Well, I don't know if I've clocked it on Confluence specifically, but that's handy. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that is driven by teams are trying to expand the use of Confluence.
It could be.
I mean, it's like similar thing you're saying, not digging on sales folks, but just like I have 3 minutes. I got to go. Like, what is this thing? Like, what is this information? Then I got to, whatever. And that stuff is really hard.
Okay. What else is in your stack?
That's pretty much it. For all intents and purposes, OmniFocus, Domo. Domo is what I use just to kind of know what's happening, what I should be doing, or at least it was what I used. Know what's happening, keep a pulse on the business. I mean, for all the jokes that you've made about me, I try to be relatively data driven and make decisions off of that. But if you're like, hey, I want to get my ideas, figure out what to do, communicate to the team, and then share it outbound, it's really that stack of like OmniFocus to pull it in, Domo to figure out what's going on in the business, keep an eye on that. That's my preferred. Right now I'm using a lot of Power BI. The nice thing here, Power BI, we have a good team and they've built some really great stuff for us. And so it's, we do not have the problem, at least here, of where did you get that? Because I don't trust it. Because we're like, it's here and it's certified.
Huge.
We're ready to go.
Like we can't be oversold enough how helpful that is to have everyone on the same page as far as numbers go, right? Like there might be disputes around like little itsy bitsy parts of it, like a day after an opportunity closes or whatever, if that's what you're looking at, like bookings or whatever, but just hugely helpful and a huge investment too, right? Like let's not pretend like it's cheap. It is, I'm sure, very expensive to maintain from a cost center perspective. It is a competitive advantage too. Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't actually thought of it as a competitive advantage, but you're totally right. An organization that's armed with data that's ready to go can move that much more quickly. I am a sucker for vibe coding and what's happening and kind of possible there. And so I'm using Lovable. and it's been great. It's been great.
For work or for tinkering?
I've used it for both. I do have a business idea that I want to. This is me being passive aggressive, but mostly for work.
Yeah. Okay.
Have I told you about my business idea, my tinker?
No.
I want to build an app. So this is true Midwest passive aggression. You've bumped into this. Everyone's bumped into this, where you notice that your colleagues have used Gen AI to produce some sort of report and numbers that don't make sense,
Yeah.
and they haven't looked it up to find out. So what I want to do is set up a site that you can explicitly request money from. So if I catch you violating this, Nate, if you send out a report, then I can send you a link, and it's a Venmo request for
Like a swear jar.
It's a swear jar for
AI.
Gen AI that you haven't checked, and it's a sliding scale based on your role in the organization.
Lessons learned, John. What's your lesson learned for this week?
So I have a working theory that every time somebody says, hey, I scheduled X amount of time, but this will be quick and won't take the whole time, that it takes the whole time and then some. Every single time that's happened to me, we go over in time. So my lesson learned is to, one, don't say that in meetings, but then also
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm starting to collect more information on that, and I want to flag that for, hey, you made it longer.
My lesson learned is there've been like kind of it's like reading the tea leaves on when we're approaching or getting into a recession, or I guess sometimes like you find out that you were in a recession when it's happening. But
Sure.
there were a few different articles. One was Wall Street Journal had one about spending time we spent the night shift with the repo man who is busier than ever. Then there was an article, let's see here. Chipotle's big bet on younger consumers is unraveling. So their sales have been sliding as the younger generation hasn't been spending as much money there. They're not, one, visiting the stores often. When they are, they're not spending as much, like doubling up on meat, whatever. And then I think there was another one. Let's see. Cars are increasingly unaffordable, kind of related to the repo man thing.
Yeah.
Like folks are having trouble affording the cars that they need to own to get to jobs, etc. All kind of, signs potentially that the economy isn't doing as well as we would hope. Good lesson learned. John, as always, good to talk to you. We are here every Tuesday, both wherever you get your podcast or on YouTube. And talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.